definitely felt like they had more swag.
Yes.
It was just kind of like playing loose,
Yes.
which is, I think, an advantage for any team going into TI, especially, right? Like if you can establish a team atmosphere of playing loose and having fun, we've learned that from OG, and now TSpirit. Like it's going to be a persistent.
Good, yeah.
Like it's so weird because if you're a professional player, you're trying to do things like seriously, but you have to like seriously create a fun atmosphere. Because that's how you're going to be able to combat the stress of TI ultimately. So, yeah, no, I agree with you that they definitely had a bit more swag. Toronto, Tokyo especially felt like he was always kind of showing his personality in the server.
SF though could be carry.
Now it's you. Now you're
Could
mentioning
be
it.
carry.
I like
we
that.
watched. I mean, we were talking about it a lot yesterday, right? 'Cause people were starting to pick Shadow Fiend there as well. I'm like, oh wow, these people are actually picking this in a pro game now, and it didn't go very well yesterday. It was. They even picked it with what was it Oracle, right?
Yeah, it was
10
Shisui's
seconds remaining.
mid. It was mid.
Yeah,
It
they
was
tried to do
mid
that
SF, yeah.
swap.
So it was pretty.
I Mela
mean-
said, "What were they doing in that first game?" So
But we Shadow
was
Fiend, I
rough.
saw like the weaknesses of that hero in that game where they would doom it. And he's playing as Doom again, and then you're just like this SF that just feels bad, and you're just dying and getting killed. They have so much burst on Unique. SF is a naturally squishy
10
hero, especially
seconds
for like a long
remaining.
time till he gets his BKB. I believe between the
Spirit,
kisses, the Doom,
turn
the
to
Lion
back.
Finger, like that's a lot of burst. And now they have a Faceless Void on top. Like if your Shadow Fiend's in Chrono, I do not think he's living.
I'm just saying that mid SF
Mm.
very susceptible to Doom. Carry SF quite less so,
But
right?
maybe
Because
they
you're
rotate
you're
his
just a
opponent.
right click fiend.
Yeah.
So
But like, I don't know. Do you not
10
see like a
seconds
situation here
remaining.
where Team Unique can just bring? I don't know who's gonna be 5. Maybe Lion. Maybe
5
they just
seconds
rotate Lion up a
remaining.
little bit earlier and they just go kill him. I mean, he's not
Red
like
team
he can
back.
jungle, but it's
Mhm.
not as like easily as other carries. Like they can just rotate earlier into the.
they
into
would
the
need a
jungle.
very active mid if you're ever going to do SF carry, because you need something that plays on the enemy side of the map,
10
so SF
seconds
feels
remaining.
safe on his own side of the map. You need something that is constantly like keeping the enemy team
5
in check and
seconds
not allowing
remaining.
them to go for the easy smoke gank on SF, because once you do get on top of him, he just gets shredded.
can Centaur fulfill that role to a degree?
I think it's more dependent on the mid laner because that's your kill hero, and that obviously just generates more threat as opposed to a centaur who's kind of like the wall that sits in front of you, but you can kind of be like, well, whatever,
Ignore him.
he's centaur. But so they banned Void Spirit and Drow, so they're like, all right, we're gonna hedge our bets. It could be either one.
10 seconds
Alright.
remaining.
Hear me out for this wacky stuff.
All right.
What do you think of Zeus as a hero
5
for
seconds remaining.
Unique?
I love Zeus.
Not now. I
Well,
liked it
Okay,
before,
but okay. Before racing now, it's a little bit
Yeah.
sus. But we
No.
saw Boom play it in the grand finals of Mineski Masters, and he absolutely stomped. It was like 24 kills, 2 deaths, Zeus. It was
Yes.
like absolutely beautiful.
We also saw Zeus got picked up actually in Western Europe. It was
10
Chillax that
seconds
picked up against a
remaining.
Terrorblade and destroyed that game as well. Actually
5
looked really good.
seconds remaining.
That for me is the important point.
Yeah.
Against Terrorblade.
Against
Boom,
Terrorblade.
picked it up against Terrorblade.
Okay.
I think that's a hero you only draft. Like I
Okay,
love
fair.
Zeus, but I only feel good about it in professional matches.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That was not the hero I wanted to see on final pick from Unique. to be
Okay,
honest.
why? Explain your
Okay.
disgust.
Well, I was hoping at least for a Spirit hero to create tempo of some kind, right? Well, OD is so passive. They're so passive now. Like, this SF had so much potential to die on the mid lane with any rotation from Snapfire or Lion, and now it's like, okay, guys, let's wait for Doom and Chronosphere to come up. Ugh.
Yeah, he's got. It's a hero that has pretty bad wave clear until it has Meteor Hammer up against SF, who has very good wave clear. You're also up against a range hero, so that matchup doesn't work out nearly as well. You can't dominate that matchup like you can against like Kunkas or Ember Spirits and stuff, where you do fine, then you get Meteor Hammer, and literally the enemy hero can't play in the lane anymore. Not the same for
5
SF.
seconds
SF's gonna
remaining.
1-2 raise, hit jungle creeps. 1-2 raise, hit jungle creeps. OD doesn't do anything against them. I don't like it. I hate it.
I hate it.
All right, a lot of hate for the OD on the panel. We'll have to see what the casters think as we move it over. Team Spirit versus Team Unique about to begin. Please take it away, Lyrical. Myself, I guess.
Run, Avo, run.
Bye, guys. Enjoy. Well, are we? Okay, I'm gonna actually leave on the middle of the shot. All right.
Avo has to go to the casting desk
Okay.
because he's going to be joining Lyrical.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, everybody. As it's going to be myself in a lovely chair for the moment. You know, they put out the Reddit threads. They're like, man, this guy's on every region. This guy's all over the place. Now he's the host. Now he's also taken over co-caster responsibilities. Long live Avo. Long may he reign. And hopefully he's going to be coming into frame in just a second as well. Sorry, it's actually on this side.
Camera, so just stay back here but the red box right there.
Everybody give a good shout out there to Trent for waking up on time. Love to see it. Cheers to you, buddy. As Avo Plus is definitely going to be joining us. Man, that BTS studio got a lot bigger, didn't it? Holy moly. It has taken a minute and a half for that man to get over there. But nonetheless, we do have a wonderful matchup for all you fine folks out there today. Avo, you're there. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, we got the headphones on. We're ready to go. How you doing, sir?
Hello, hey, Lyrical. That was this is an interesting transition.
Yeah.
Very excited to be here. You know, first cast with you, so let's have fun.
It's going to be a great time. Let's get right into the game here because it is unique facing off against the TI champions, TSpirit. Like, why would you pick an OD in this moment? I feel like this is the craziest thing ever. Obviously, the rest of your panel made it clear what they thought. What did you think of that OD?
You know, I like to see the logic behind the picks, right, rather than puke on the floor. So I thought that what the OD was is they're actually thinking on the same lines on my panel was, oh, we need some burst damage. We can like destroy the SF. The Weaver Bane are actually kind of weak to this. OD provides that, but now Wraithing makes it impossible, right? So OD is one of the few heroes that can provide both the control for the Wraithing to ignore him in team fights and at the same time also provide the burst damage. So I think that's the logic. I still don't like it, but it's not. It could be an idea. No?
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely. I think we just heard somebody. I think we did. I think so, Trent. We're live on broadcast right now, and the rest of everybody can't hear you, I think. Yes. So lovely. All right, adios. All right, here we go. So in the meantime, Unique is facing off here over on the bounty runes and trying to secure themselves a couple of them. It looks like 2, maybe for all of them. Is that it? There's still one more left to the side, which TSpirit should be able to secure. There you go.
Yeah. Well, Mira just showing off to Big Gnomes like, look, I took your rune, I take your HP now. I don't think. No, Big Gnome won't die to this, right?
No, probably not.
Nah, he's fine.
Yeah, Snapfire's kind of tanky.
She is. So they decided to run the Weaver Wraith thing, which I love actually, because I think I was. You've played Dota for a long time. It was back in the day. Any Centaur combo was beautiful. You know, the tiny Centaur was a meme as well, and Bane Centaur is just awesome. They have a lot of kill potential in this lane. Slayer's a weak laner. They can't really do much to collapse this game.
Well, and this is interesting too. Like you talked about, that combination there. Normally you see the brain sap, but when you have the great setup with the hoof stomp afterwards, it's an easy, huge amount of damage on his Slayer. He's going to be super careful.
This might even be a lane where you actually opt to put more points in Double Edge as opposed to the Retaliate build that we usually see, because you have so much kill potential. And I mean, Retaliate's great because Lion can't do anything against you if you do that. Also similar with Void, but if you go for the Double Edge, you might actually kill the Lion or even the Void a couple of times with that combination.
Yeah, it's super dangerous and a tremendous amount of burst damage. Obviously, you know, you sort of are banking on that armor being able to keep you alive in the time walk for Faceless Void, but depending upon how this all goes, I mean, it's not going to matter if you've just got a ton of magical and pure damage coming out. Mid lane, though, SF facing off against OD, the Outworld Destroyer. I don't know if I've actually cast a game with this hero since the name got changed even. I just feel like we almost never see it, but known for being like incredibly strong in the laning stage, if nothing else.
Yeah, he's been picking up a little bit more popularity these days. I've seen it. I saw it in NA. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the Pushka. Oh, there's a Nightmare. 7 Jesu.
Careful. Does have another point if you want to take Brain Sap. Pushka. Oh my god, you're gonna get a free courier for that. Okay.
Well, that's nice. But yeah, in the OT, I think a couple people I've talked to, they're much better than me at Dota, have told me the hero's a bit underrated, that he actually has a lot of potential, but that maybe not as much as a mid laner, or the style of him has to kind of change a bit. I've seen some ODs actually going Ags as opposed to the Meteor Hammer, like straight Ags, and using the new shard for extra save. And the damage you deal is pretty high. You have obviously really good save with the Ags. You have the option of also bursting heroes down with your ultimate easily with that. So you become more of a nuker than the typical OD we're used to seeing. It is a very much FN hero, though, I will say. He likes these kind of heroes that kind of win from the mid lane.
Quick little what happened coming out. Admin staying on the case as they're trying to deal with the FPS drop. It's interesting because I think that, you know, the thing that you're mentioning there about the Meteor Hammer being the more commonly seen build for OD, but then there's like new things that are being done with it. I feel like it was so common partially because like it's just kind of a pub stomping build. I feel like a lot of the times we're saying, oh, there it is. Look at that. The Aegis of Champions. Amazing. But enough about that. The question I've got is why is it that I feel like we see less of that in like pro Dota? It feels like that item and that combination is so strong sometimes in pubs. Why is it sometimes not quite live up to the expectations in pro games?
I think there's 2 points to this, right? The first point is that with coordination, which every pro game has, even a Div 2 pro game, canceling Meteor Hammer is not that difficult, right? Like you'll reserve a stun and you'll save one for canceling that channel. So that's a whole item that you've wasted. And the other part is that I think the solo push potential that Meteor Hammer gives you is not as valuable when you have a team that can also provide that for you. In a pub, you have to carry the game yourself.
Wow.
Some kills get missed, guys. Do not worry. The fact is we don't like seeing Slayer die. We're big fans of him, so...
There it is.
Yeah.
A little bit of biased casters in the morning, what you love to see. But yeah, the sort of strength that we were talking about of this lane, definitely relevant and easy picks on the Lion if he's not careful. So this lane's going to have to be super careful for Unique if they can actually deal with this, although a little bit of damage thrown back there onto Collapse.
So 1-1 build for now, right? So we're not quite sure what build Collapse is going to go for yet. I still think Retaliate is overall better because it allows you to put pressure on the towers afterwards, and the kills on Lion are not as valuable as, say, well, taking down the potential tier 2. And that could put the pressure that the panel was talking about later as well.
Well, I mean, they may not be super valuable, but if they're there for free, you're going to take them. Is it going to be for free, though? Oh, 7 Jesu getting blocked off by Miposhka. Collapse lives, gets the salve afterwards. And then going to be some extra damage along the way. This top lane is a complete and total disaster as Collapse picking up right where he left off. Owning the game.
Yeah, it's scary to let a Centaur be this free, honestly, as well in the top lane. Like, he's just a super strong laner. He'll take your tower super easily. Usually go for high-value items as Centaur early as well. As Yatoro.
Taking some damage there. Nice.
So yeah, the Centaur, because you go for the Van Hood usually, this is the most popular build on the hero, the value you get out of like just 4,000 gold is insane, right? That gold gets immediately turned into items, immediately turned into a superiority over the enemy. So it's kind of scary letting him have kills and letting him have domination over the lane. And you just can't do anything though because Unique's lane is honestly really weak.
And it doesn't really feel like there's that other hero to provide a little bit of release of the pressure that's being mounted up there, right? Like, who's going to be rotating, making changes? Probably Bignum getting like a level 6 and then trying to rotate up there would be the best play, but that's, I mean, in all likelihood, not going to happen until the 10-minute mark or something. So Unique going to need to sort of weather through the storm that's coming at them.
Look at this value build by Collapse, the double bracer. I love this build, actually. It makes any offlaner seems unkillable with double bracer, and especially Centaur. And he did go for Retaliate, so he can put some pressure onto the tower. I love this. I think they're taking advantage of this top lane very well. And as per usual, they understand when Collapse gets the free game, you got to take advantage of it.
True. This is the play. And I feel like it also sort of speaks to maybe the pace that they want to play at, not just like in terms of putting the pressure on early, but when they want to end the game, right? Like double bracer doesn't make sense if you're trying to get 6 slotted. So this is to me at least looking like TSpirit want to put the clamps on this one early and just shut things down.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, obviously, I think when you buy the double bracer and offlaner because of your regular transition where you are kind of you farm a lot in the beginning, right? And then afterwards you start to stave off as you need to give up some of that space for your other cores, and your lane becomes less important. Then you don't really have the item progression that makes you sell these bracers as early. That's my interpretation when I see this kind of build. That's why we actually saw a lot of Dooms or Tidehunters, well, I mean, more so the Doom, go for the double gauntlet build, remember? and everyone's like, "Oh, this is Soul Ring." No, it's not. It's just 2 gauntlets. Actually, look, he will build it into a Soul Ring though this time. But it used to be the case that you just go for the double gauntlet, and you don't even need a Soul Ring in some heroes, and it's just the stats that it gives you. Winning the lane is such a big deal for an offlaner.
True. That makes a huge difference. We'll say that at least for now, the Doom does feel like he's doing pretty well, but not like sort of winning the lane in the same way that we're seeing the Centaur up top. Centaur's definitely having a much better time, and Slayer right now just trying to recombobulate his head. More than likely, it's just some tech issues going on, but man, could definitely use a pause to reset things for how that stuff's gone up there.
FN is going for the Meteor Hammer build. I hope that you saw, which is it's a thing. I'm not sure if I'm really sold on this build because I've seen some ODs also try out things like Witchblade, for example, which seems like a really good item on him on paper, right?
Yeah.
I see the point of the Meteor Hammer though, because I think with the Void you can't really afford to be a secondary win condition, but. Yeah, I just don't see much success to this OD in general. Let's hope it's different this game.
We'll see if it is. It's going to be a tough one. And the one other nice part about this, at the very least, is there aren't a ton of things to break that Meteor Hammer. Is Bignum able to get out of there right before the last couple hits come in? Here, I threw those bugs out. Weaver just so strong.
I like that point, actually. Centaur is not going to go for an early Blink Dagger. He's not going to go for a super early Blink Dagger, judging by his items. I don't think the Wraithing can reach him easily unless he's in the middle of the fight. And for the case of the Bane as well, it's going to be a little bit tough to close to him without dying.
Man, Collapse farming up the whole creep wave as well as the medium camp at the same time as another Lion Paws. Slayer did manage to get one of those creeps along the way, but right now it is giving Seven just a little bit of time to like sort of farm up a couple of waves for himself. That's definitely some needed reprieve from all the pressure that's being mounted.
Yeah, I'm thinking here though who you want to give the early farm to and who you're going to be playing around early, because with a Void versus a Wraith King matchup, like if Void King get kills on SF, that's great, but you can't really let the Wraith King go. Centaur's not an easy kill if Void gets farm either, right? You need the damage to come from other sources. So maybe you might have this matchup where like Void actually hunts relatively early with a Lion Snapfire combo and Doom even. You actually let FN get more items and be more relevant, and that's your way to dealing with Wraith King later on.
Right.
But you can't play a standard game here because your core to core kind of got countered.
That's true. It's a fair point. Ooh. Is this really gonna work though? No. They make the move over and Bignum not able to do it. And in fact, Toronto Tokyo might walk in. He has Requiem going, or just gonna go for the triple raise. Easy kill. The absolute legend on the SF right now.
Yeah, that feels bad. You rotate, the whole point of you is to get a kill. You don't get it. FN needs to go over to the small camp to get this Meteor Hammer finalized.
Oh,
and
and
top
they
lane.
can't even punish Collapse for this. Like, he's just still farming right in their face while that rotation goes on. And there's just nothing they can do.
Once you get that Vanguard, like, what do you hit him with? You're a Lion, dude. Your biggest damage is Earth Spike. You can mana drain him. That's your best bet. And pray that he forgets that Double Edge costs no mana. There's not much you can afford. In fact, look at this.
Poor Slayer. I mean, it was a bold effort for him, to be sure, but is eventually going to get brought down. Can't even get the Earth Spike off. The rotation comes over from FN. Meteor Hammer going to get dropped down, and do they have enough to bring it down? Collapse, going to pop the ult. He tries to run away. They get the damage with the burn down. Meteor Hammer, best item in the game, Avo.
Yeah. You should have done the Suns fan thing of admit it, Avo. Admit it. It's all the Meteor Hammer.
Can't fight his style.
That's true. I think it was pretty good rotation, honestly, by FN. He is creating the space early. So the idea, I think, is OD rotates now with the Meteor Hammer power spike for the next, like, 5-6 minutes. Ideally, also takes some towers, maybe puts pressure mid. Then Void starts getting the items. He becomes part of the kill squad. And then eventually you get this Void OD both, which have enough damage to bring down, well, all of TSpirit, hopefully 2 Wraithings as well. It's a tall order, but it's a plan. It's
There's a pathway.
Cohesive. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's going to be a tough one, definitely. And, you know, I will say that I felt the strength. Oh, no. Oh, this is looking a little bit rough now. The movement in, FN getting body blocked the whole way through. A couple more punches. Do they have enough? No. Ben's just going to walk it off.
Yeah, now Slayer. Sioma. No, there's a infused raindrop, so Miposhka's fine. In fact, Tokyo's been swaggering around like, what are you attacking my support here?
Yeah, not gonna work. But I guess that's you know, when I think about this this meta, a lot of what I've seen is sometimes like a greedy lineup can get you there in the end, and particularly this Doom hero has just looked so incredibly strong if you can get to like that refresher late stage situation. So we'll see. Trying to go for that Hand of Midas. It feels like Unique strategy is just hold as long as they can.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Because you have to hold, but at the same time you have to stop the Wraith King's farm from happening, right? Because you can't let him get super farm either. So it's more about playing around those small spikes, particularly your ultimates being up. It's just that I don't think you have enough items or enough ultimates right now to actually get a kill, and that's why it seems really passive for Unique right now. Once you get Mortimer's Kisses, I'm expecting rotations against Wraith King. That's why they're giving space, or rather experience to Bignum mid, as he also defends it, and FN's taking advantage of this time to farm.
Yeah, that Meteor Hammer used now to clear out this triple stack that was just made as well. But we'll see. Miposhka in the meantime, trying to get any extra vision that can be gotten, as Toronto Tokyo will stack up, or rather just farm up these Ancients here. So slow going as we're waiting for that 10-minute mark and getting those tomes to get some support ultis online.
Yep. Because the Centaur is so strong though and putting so much pressure on top, and also Yatoro kind of taking over bottom, doesn't feel like TSpirit is too sad about the state of affairs right now. They even rotating to get quick kills on Bignum.
Dude, kill the bug off of him. He's just TPing away, doesn't even care. They're going for a separate kill up on the top side as Bignum will eventually get brought down. And that Stampede also means they can't collapse onto Collapse. He gets out as well.
And can they put pressure on the mid tower now as well? No, SF is leaving. I mean, they should, right? The mid-tier one should be kind of, they're just going to take it down. There's no TPs, you know that, because FN just left. Your only lane clear, which was the Snapfire, is dead. Lion comes to defend, but how do you defend this tower? Yeah, especially with Yatoro. That's impossible.
Big moves. They're moving in now, though. FN, maybe looking for an opening. Burning through some of that mana of Wraith King. Is saving the point, but doesn't... Well, now they're just going to get the tower. Call it good, back out. Fine and dandy.
That's why I said it was a bit too difficult to defend, or kind of impossible. Like, you have to TP everyone in. You just lost the FN's TP. Nobody's nearby. Snapfire had to TP in 100%. You wanted her to walk in, ideally, as Void TP'd in, so you can Chrono into Kisses, but without that, it's impossible. Even with Chrono into Kisses, by the way, I think the only target you have is SF. It's not like it's an easy fight.
Right. And, I mean, I don't know. The way this game is going, like, there's only been 5 kills for TSpirit, but they're up 4,000 gold. They've got a Chrono, gonna use it. I don't know if this is gonna work, dude. The Kisses are down, Nightmare afterwards, but the Hex follow-up, do they have enough? Banishment?
That was pick pull.
Maybe the Meteor Hammer and everything else drop down on top of them. It could be enough to kill off Collapse. Still trying to walk away, but eventually they're gonna find that tanky offlaner and bring him down.
All right, I mean, yes, it's not the ideal situation. I have to use a lot of resources for this, but at least he did get a kill out of it. So, could have been worse.
Petashara, down bottom.
Oh,
Just got Requiem.
no.
He walked up the hill.
All right, take it back. Like, one off there dies to 4 heroes jumping, and the other one dies to a simple Requiem. That is not a good trade here in the end.
Toronto Tokyo's farming that entire time, too. Barely had to step out of his pattern. Well, interesting stuff. TSpirit, like we said, picking up where they left off and looking quite good in this game number 1.
And something that I like as well a lot by TSpirit, you notice how they saw that they all went top, right? They took them forever to kill Collapse. They actually have some wards around the area as well to get them information. And they know that they didn't have TPs. A couple of the heroes that are actually missing TPs, Void included, and they don't have ultimates. So they're like, well, bottom is free then. Even though this would technically be the dead lane, the empty space, you don't want to play there. You have a carry that can push, so might as well take advantage of Unique taking way too long to kill your offlaner. So that Centaur kill meant that you also got Doom and you got a tier 1 in exchange, even if it's not the most valuable one. Very good use of the space here by TSpirit.
They're keeping this pressure on. Now, obviously, with bugs available, skeletons, an SF with DD, this is going to be a quick and easy Roche, unless there's any type of defense mounted. Now, Slayer is going to head in there, get off a stun. 7 Jesu, no Chrono for 50, and yeah, there's no way for them to contest this. 15 seconds until Kisses also. Unique not there in time.
And you see how we were talking earlier about this lull that Unique doesn't really have any plays to make right now, right?
Yeah.
There's no chrono up, and meanwhile TSpirit just takes complete advantage this time. Towers, Roche, even a couple of kills. You're even taking over the enemy jungle now after the Roche, of course, natural transition. It's tough because it's not even that Unique is playing badly, it's just they have nothing else to do. Their draft doesn't lead them to any more plays.
Right. Well, in the meantime, TSpirit can keep on farming up, getting to that next set of items themselves, and maybe start pressuring. If they wanted to, FN's not the easiest kill in the world.
No, you're right. Unless they...
Are scanning.
Unless he
walks
shows.
in.
Yeah, exactly.
High five? Oh my god, dude, don't die right now. You can't high five and to die. Oh no! High five him! Give him the high five! Oh, Cookie, save. All right, an opportunity, a doom there. No stampede afterwards. Yatoro in some trouble, walks into the chronosphere, drains the mana, but he still gets that ulti off. Do they have anything else left in the tank? Yatoro in trouble, dropping away, but gets the armlet toggle. And now trying to walk out of here if he can. Eats the tree, ring around the rosy, but the Earth Spike finishes off. Yo, best bait in the world by FN right there, but Reckless Souls afterwards. Connects on all, but there's no follow-up afterwards.
What a
TSpirit,
cookie.
they gotta back out.
That was FN dying. What a cookie by Bignum. Oh my god. He just saved him from the wreck. He was about to walk high ground. It's like, get back, stupid. That was the exact cookie. So well done. You're right. What a bait, honestly. Though, I don't know if you saw that or if I'm crazy, but did he just send his Eclipse nothingness there for a second?
Listen, I was gonna let it go.
Okay.
He made a good play. We don't gotta focus on that. It's
Okay, I
fine.
wasn't crazy. I was wondering what possibly had triggered that, but, you know, Celebration Eclipse, right? Because he played so well. Sure.
Exactly. They gave him a bunch of gold. He'll give him back an ulti cooldown just for funsies.
Mira, it just comes in for the bounty. And
Nice.
maybe a kill as well, but we know FN is the bait now.
It's true. Ooh, juke. Jump. Stun. Bugs down. A chance. Maposhka got the Fiend's grip. Got him caught to the side. Couple punches, and that's going to finish the job. FN ends up falling up top, though. Toronto Tokyo getting chased down here. No chrono, but they don't need it. With the eventual right-click finish, that's going to be Aegis down. Do they have anything else left in the tank to take this guy down? Cookie going to connect. Stampede afterwards. Good hook stomp, but the turnaround. Collapse, raised there onto 2. Looks for the second. Toronto Tokyo living through this one for the moment, but it's a ton of damage out. And in the end, it was too much. But they will be able to run down Petashara. Not quite in time.
Something you don't consider, but as a melee hero fighting against Shadow Fiend, that Death Requiem hurts a lot, right? And that's what just killed the Void there. Probably the best case scenario out of what happened. I don't think that was the right play, mind you, right? He was trying to create space, but he only saw 2 heroes bot. Maybe he assumed there were more people there. Because you see FN playing the bait again, right? You see Lion actually trying to initiate. So you think, oh, most likely the rest of Unique is running towards them and trying to find the triangle. Makes sense, it's the right play. But maybe they got baited by that, and Toronto Tokyo got killed as a result.
Right. Yeah, it's true. It's a good point to make right there. And like with all the vision that's up here on this top side of the map, they would imagine that this is a safe place for them to be in general. But nonetheless,
actually, I might be wrong because I do see the wards there. Sorry. So maybe I don't know. I was giving Toronto Tokyo too much leeway because there are 2 wards there, so you would have seen them if they were not around.
Oh, they're under vision right now. They don't see. Now they're gonna know that this one's up here though. And they'll back off yet again.
As a smoke here, 2-man smoke with Void and Lion.
Maposhka. Oh,
Yeah,
hello. Oh, BKB, the Nightmare trade-off though. Well played by the Lion. One more hit takes down Slayer.
Dire's bottom tower
Well,
Wow, giving up his life. 7 Jesu.
from Slayer to Slade, honestly, this poor guy. He's been tanking nightmares night. I feel like Shioma's play this game has actually been really solid, but because of the position his team has been in, he's just kind of there to sacrifice himself for his cores, which is the best thing you can do as a 5 here.
Absolutely. It's the dream, to be honest.
Is that what
maybe not.
when you play a pub and you
Yeah.
give your life to your core, it's like you finally reached the nirvana as a support, right? That's true enlightenment.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the best some of us can hope for, Alco. Don't mean to make me feel any worse about it.
I know you're a Darkseer player. Don't pretend like you're a support player.
That's
Lyrical.
fair. All right, well, 4 heroes up top, and underneath this vision still for a bit. It's weird. Those movements, I thought that they knew that that ward was there before, but nonetheless, trying to play around this area, they will end up backing out again. And meanwhile, it's just Miposhka down bottom dropping wards as well. Interesting placement. Trying to spot people coming to lane to push it out.
Yeah, so they have a lot of rotational wards, which usually give well, somewhat rotational. So the idea behind these wards is they usually give a little bit less vision, but they are much harder to deward, and they give a lot of this information. And now with Fiend Script, I don't think they can save the Void this time.
No, they got him. Well played. And just recognizing where that Faceless Void was going to be and shutting him down for the kill. They're reading him like a book.
Radiant are scanning.
It's what happens when you take away space, right? He's forced to go into positions that are much more predictable because there's only so much of the map he has. And your offensive wards are helping a lot. Particularly that ward in the triangle is super useful.
Now this one's going to get another one as Slayer is brought down. He tried to deward in that area too. It was just a little bit off with the sentry here. Damn. I have to steal that ward.
Yeah, but that ward is a hard ward to deward though, right? Like, why would you expect them to put it there?
Yeah.
Same with this one. These wards are genuinely not the kind of wards that you'd expect usually, and also the information that they provide is not immediately used upon, right? Like, you have a ward in the high ground, most of the time in a team fight or whatever, it'll be revealed because they'll land the spell when they shouldn't, or they'll take advantage of it. But these wards, because the information is more about where the enemy team is in the map, it's much harder to guess, oh, they have a ward here, here, here. It's just a general area where you have to guess. And Sioma is struggling with that.
Well, 8,000 gold lead now. 12-5, gonna wait for that next Roche most likely on TSpirit. For Team Unique, again, you start to think about, like, as this game goes later, is things looking better. You've got BKB on Petushara with the Midas still working. Jesu trying to get towards a BKB of his own. But, I don't know, it could be a little bit tough for them. Dragonlance for OD, we'll see if Ben decides to swap that up and go for a BKB as well. But right now, at least TSpirit dodge away from that smoke gank.
So what was it? He went straight into Dragonlance after the Meteor? Or he Blink as well?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a bit of a hybrid build, right? Kind of utility with the OD, like the Meteor Hammer Blink, but then you also add the Dragonlance, so you're kind of transitioning into a core. I'm assuming that's going to be a Hurricane Pike eventually.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess.
It's okay. Like, in this game, I think you need that because you know the Void alone won't be able to care. Like, the Void is more for the Chrono. You won't ever be able to match the Wraith King. Unless Seven Jesu could have gone for the older Void build. That was an option, actually. Like, the SNY build where Void's playing around the Time Walk more than he is around the Chrono. But with Maelstrom BKB, it's not quite there.
Doom just coming in to clear out this wave for the moment. And in the meantime, it is Unique finally able to secure a tier 1 tower. But Miposhka, Toronto, Tokyo, they smoke up. Hoping to find somebody here. They might bite off more than they could chew if they run into the rest of Unique with 4 heroes nearby. Slayer off to the side, runs up. They realize they're coming in this area, and oh man, if they can manage to get this kill, this would be insane with all these heroes nearby. It feels really difficult though. Well, they be there. Oh no, Slayer. Oh god, not like that. Chronosphere afterwards though, but he nightmares one and gonna grip the other. The Chrono does nothing. Oh, and the Requiem to follow blows him up. They didn't stand a chance.
At least in the top lane, they can get a... No,
nah.
nothing. They can get nothing.
Oh, he gets the blink away before the damage comes in. Pig pulling out. Collapse on one.
Second time that he actually saves himself partially due to the pig pull. But just... I'm questioning Unique strategy. They're going for the hunting that I was talking about, right? It just seems like they don't have a contingency plan. I wonder why the Doom is not going hunting with them. I understand why the OD is not, right? Because FN's becoming like a secondary win condition. He's farming, fair enough, but why is Petushara not joining them in these fights? Well, that extra cancel would be so valuable. That Doom. I don't feel like we've seen any impactful Dooms this game.
I think we saw one on Collapse that kept him out of the fight for a sec, but they didn't get the kill off of it. But yeah, it was not, it really wasn't, you know, what we normally hope to see. And I guess some of that could just be because of the build. I think the blink came last, right? That's the most recent item for Doom. So that's a little bit, you know, it's tough to make stuff happen until that point. But regardless, this is going to be the second Roche for TSpirit picked up rather rapidly. And when you see that presence aura affects buildings for the Shadow Fiend. You know they're going to start to fall quick.
Yep, and now he went for the shard, which at first was considered to be really bad, but now people are starting to kind of fall into it. I mean, it's developed a whole Shadow Fiend carry playstyle, so that's pretty great. For people that don't know, it kind of uses one of your souls to get a crit, pretty much.
Right.
So relatively easy. I mean, you shouldn't use it on creeps, but anyway, the shard looks pretty good because it's a guaranteed crit for the most part. So it really ups that physical damage SF can do, and also becomes much more reliable, right? So you actually, it's like a physical burst that's a rarity in Dota.
Something finally going the way of Unique, as they will pick up the quick kill there on Maposhka. Might reveal their ward, but regardless, it is something, and that's what they need. There have been so many times where like this area down here just feels like it's been held by the Radiant, even when they're on the other side of the map, because of the danger coming.
I agree with you. That usually would be dire side, right? When you swap jungles and everything, but it just feels like TeamSpirit has been able to play better. And this is also my problem with Unique's movement sometimes. It seems half committed. So if you're only rotating 3 heroes into the enemy jungle, and the enemy wants to fight there, they're gonna rotate 5, and they're gonna lose that fight. So it's just a numbers game. Also, Bane is much better in my opinion when you don't have like a whole full team there, because obviously Fiend script, maybe 1 person can cancel it, 2 people at best, right? It's tougher.
Well, speaking of which, caught him. Oh my god, that crit with the DD. Devastating. Slayer now caught. Going to get brought down here in just a moment. Nowhere left to go. Dude, SF hits very hard.
Yep. Yeah, he does. Actually, looking, he's one-shotting the creeps without the need for the actual crit. That DD was a godsend, and there's the presence coming into play.
Yeah, the 3 damage per souls now also picked up as the level 20 talent. I mean, this is just devastating. I don't even need Yatoro.
No, you can't respond to Toronto Tokyo right now, right? He's already a problem. You can't kill Yatoro, so and collapse is collapse. So Unique has like 3 problems that they have no solutions to. The supports are not a problem because at least they don't matter as much, but the Bane is still a concern. You don't have a way to cancel Fiend Script. It's just a lot of issues here that Unique has to solve in the next, I would say 10 minutes, because I don't think there's much more to this match.
Well, I mean, depending on how it goes, there's 2 minutes left on this Aegis, so it might be less than that. If we're going to be real about it.
Okay. I was being optimistic, Lyrical. I thought this was the happy cast. Okay.
I mean, somebody's happy right now. TeamSpirit fans, Unique ones are struggling for answers. And I don't got any for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a couple limitations in their draft. I think their playstyles led to a little bit more limitations as well. And I know you get to the late game this way. I also see a super underfarmed Void, and it concerns me.
Yeah, it's a struggle at the moment. But the pressure going to be mounted up top. Slayer hoping to not get blown up in one shot. Adashara walks in. It's a little Infernal Blade off to start to bring Yatoro down a little bit lower. But Toronto Tokyo does not appear to care about anything. One more jump comes in, Nightmare afterwards. Oh god, they're gonna one-shot him, aren't they? Oh, Toronto Tokyo's waiting. He wants this one shot. Doink! Oh. It was 2 that time, but nonetheless, just so much physical damage coming out from this SF.
It was like the
AC done.
Look, that line actually had infinite value. It's like the cap theory, right? He like tanked 800 damage in the second hit. Super inefficient.
Ah, that's a good point.
That's the real value of Supernova as well, or a Tombstone.
Okay. Cool. Good to know.
Yeah, I learned so much on this panel. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, 27 minutes and 2 tier 3 towers and racks taken by TeamSpirit. How much time left on this Aegis? They still got 45 seconds. I don't think that they need to pressure things that much more quickly. As far as Unique, like, it really feels that they've just got to get like the perfect fight, and I don't even know what that looks like at this point. Like, a Doom has to be part of it, but I feel like they need Refresher or something. It's just tough.
I guess the perfect fight is you chrono. So SFH is gonna expire, right? So you chrono the SF.
Okay.
Ideally, Bane 2 or Weaver, like one of the supports. You kill him with kisses and voids things. Then you Astro Imprisonment Toronto Tokyo and hope that you can kite him after the Astro Imprisonment with either Earth Spike or Mana Drain or Hex or whatever. You just keep him busy, right? As you kill the rest of his team. I mean, you do a fair amount of damage, so it's not impossible. Ideally, maybe Doom the centaur so he can't stampede, or alternatively Doom the second line for the Wraith King, or Doom the Bane. It actually might not even be crazy to do that.
So you think it kind of has to? You think it kind of has to start with the Chrono though?
Yeah, I think you have to kill the SF first. If Torrent Tokyo
Okay.
is a threat, it's impossible because he's the biggest source of damage, and he's not really that easy to kite, right?
Yeah.
Radiant
He's pretty
are
quick.
scanning.
Yeah, but Yatoro didn't go for a BKB, so actually kiting him is not impossible. Again, I'm grasping at straws here, right? That's the perfect fight. They also have thank you, Yosin. They also have Ags on Weaver, so I guess this is becoming harder and harder.
God.
Yeah.
No. Oh wow. Well, Team Unique.
Alright, so you have to
Maybe
chrono the
Weaver's
Weaver now as well.
You have to chrono the Weaver and the SF. It feels like.
Yes, exactly. Which
What
chronoing 2 raged heroes, that's easy, right?
Yeah.
Lyrical? I do that every day.
One of which doesn't need to hit creeps. But I guess the question is it worth dooming the Weaver then if you can somehow find the Weaver?
I think so, actually. I think, honestly, dooming the supports might be your best targets, because dooming Wraith King's
Okay.
first life is useless. Dooming Centaur has value, because you get rid of the Stampede, so that's also a thing. And, I mean, I guess if you're dooming SF, I think all your tools are in one hero, and that's just...
Well, this is not the perfect fight.
That's not it, no.
Bignum will get brought down there, and immediately the rest of Unique is going to split up, try and push out these lanes, and dodge away from any damage coming in. Should be noted that SF also has a Lincoln Sphere now, so they can't really rely upon doing him either.
Yeah.
Which, like you said earlier, I don't know if it's even super valuable. Slayer, gonna hang out down here on the bottom side. Ooh. Double blink into TP because it's a fight on the other side of the map. They bring him down. Oh, the Faceless Void gets got.
Yeah, I don't. It's getting harder. Like these kills are not making it easier. I understand that they're cutting, or they're trying to cut lanes and delay the game, right? But I just don't see that the delay in the game necessarily is gonna make you succeed, right? I don't think that this is the lineup where I'm looking at Unique and going, wow, if this goes 50 minutes, easy for them.
Right. Oh, definitely. I do always, like I said, feel good about Doom in the late game if you can get to that like refresher territory, but
100%.
it just feels like that it's not in the cards for this one unless something drastically goes wrong for TSpirit here. And you know what? We've seen them dive before. They've gone crazy at times.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Do they do it again? Oh man,
That is
are they
true.
really cutting all the way back across the map? Wow, so disciplined.
Yeah, what is this TSpirit? What did TI do to them?
Right?
You guys didn't watch them. This would be the moment when Toronto Tokyo decides to dive tier 4 as active BKB and wreck him. Nothing. And he's having fun with himself.
They're gonna see them wait it out, and it's probably the right play. 20 seconds until Roche will respawn, actually. A relatively quick one for TSpirit. We'll see if Maposhka just sticks it in the pit.
Right. So Ice Rod is
Although-
rewarding them.
The question is, if Unique find a fight right now and win it, could they go right into Roche? That first part might not happen, but we'll see. The smoke is the start of it if they can make it happen.
Yeah, you know, this is the right moment to do it. I agree. And they actually have pretty decent rushing potential if they get to it, right?
They have Blink on Lion now. Slayer opening up a whole new bag of tricks. And spotting Collapse, but playing around this ward. Oh, God, they know. They know what's happening. Yadoro calls it out and immediately into Roche. Unique have to back home, clear out their waves, and that leaves open Aegis number 3.
So the moment FN realized that the enemy team realized and that their play was thwarted and the game might be lost, they break up BSJ's line. So just, keep that in mind for a second.
There you go.
That's the sadness line. Like, keep the PMA.
Well, at least we can keep the PMA here. Cheese on the Centaur. Refresher still being held by the Wraith King, actually. Now, do they just want to head right on in and push through bottom? Dotting their I's, crossing their T's. TSpirit very happy with the state of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Unique just has to wait for a high ground push and hope that they make a mistake or hope that the team fight's going off in the high ground. There's really not much more else you can do.
And the smoke up comes.
Lyrical, I don't think it should be fair that TSpirit can be a disciplined team, because then what chances do other teams get? If they're good and they're like youthful and they're happy and they're also disciplined.
Ooh. It's true. It just seems broken. Too good.
Yeah, nerf plays Ice Rod.
How do you nerf them, though? That's the question.
You gotta force Yadaro to get his hair back. That's it. Like in the picture,
Okay,
right?
got it. All right, I see. That makes sense. Alopecia treatment. That's what we got to get here.
Okay. Okay. There's a
let's-
strength blink on Wraithing as well, by the way, in case they ever thought they had a chance of escaping him now.
Big boy. Ready to go. They're waiting for the creep wave to come in through bottom.
Kiting
And
him becomes
incredibly
impossible,
disciplined.
by the
Yeah.
way. But that's what I meant with the strength blink. Like, it's, yeah, he's strength tanky, but like, now you can't kite him, because the slow will allow him to catch up to at least one of you.
Yeah. As long as he can get on top of them. That AoE is relatively large with the strength thing, to
Dire's
be fair.
bottom tower is under attack.
Collapse. Ready to break any smokes that are coming around from the other side. And in the meantime, Toronto Tokyo punches away at this tier 3 tower.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just gone so quickly. And there really isn't a great way to stop this from happening. Bignum jumps forward, stuns him. Good jump afterwards. Chrono, oh, it's only onto the Wraith King. That's not going to be good enough. Toronto Tokyo pops the ulti, and now Doom getting dropped down so low. Dead, no buyback. Unique, nowhere left to go, as this one is just about going to do it. Thought for a second that I had them muted and they called it, but no, it finally does come out. Slayer calls the GG. TSpirit still good at Dota, it turns out.
Yeah, who would have guessed, right? When a TI, still good at Dota. They're taking the Alliance route more than the OG route here. But TSpirit, honestly, great performance by them. They actually show improvement over what we saw last season, which is impressive in itself. Because again, they want TI. How much more do you want to improve? What a team.
What a team indeed. Yeah, I was super impressed with a lot of different things that happened in that game. I think whether it was like just the early discipline, I think the biggest thing for me was like in that mid-game moment when they were controlling the top jungle and then also were finding kills in the bottom jungle with just Bane and Shadow Fiend. It was like just perfect. It looked really, really good.
Yeah. For Unique, though, they actually adapted to the game somewhat after not the best draft, and they try to make it work. Like the transitioning of FN into the win condition, the way they played with Avoid Hunting, even if it wasn't fully committed with Petushara, the idea was good there. So we're actually seeing the like inklings of greatness from them. It just so happens that with a draft like this that's so hard to execute, it reminds me of the games we saw yesterday, where if the draft is this hard, we're not going to see too many great plays from you.
True enough. Well, we'll have to see if they can come up with some great plays in game number 2 for Unique. Meanwhile, TSpirit just looking solid in this game number 1. We'll be back in just a few. First to a break, and then back to you, Avo.